Oops, I forgot. Hello, good evening, this is June. Today I want to show you how I cook Katsudon, which is deep fried pork cutlet with steamed rice. Now if you break down Katsudon into katsu and don, first part katsu comes from tonkatsu, which is a deep fried pork cutlet. Katsudon don is short for donburi, a big bowl usually served with steamed rice. Basically, it's a fried pork cutlet with steamed rice. But instead of serving that crunchy tonkatsu straight away, it is simmered in egg sauce and then the whole thing is placed on top of steamed rice. Now, many households shy away from deep frying because it creates a bit of mess from all sputtering all over the place. But my concern is more to do with the potential health hazard in deep frying. I read that polyunsaturated oils can get oxidized easily because of many of them are partially hydrogenated, meaning that the manufacturer attach hydrogen atoms in molecules to make the oil stable. But as you heat up the oil, the hydrogen atoms become unstable, they get kicked out of those molecule chains and then replaced with O atoms, that's oxygen, and that's oxidized. And inside your body, it causes free radicals and the story goes on. A compromise for me is to do less frying, but when I do, I use better oil. My choice is lard. It has a low content of polyunsaturated oil, but contains mostly of saturated fat. What you see here is lard. It costs about 350 yen for 450 grams. But I did use 1/3 of it since I didn't deep fry but shallow fry it. I only used 1/3 of it. So it's roughly about 115 yen, which is about US $1 in cost. By the way, frying lard tastes better for animal meats, hands down. I also add a chunk of butter for flavor, 5 grams, 2 of them, and I got pork loin meat here. I pound with a meat tenderizer to make it soft, as well as to make it thin because it's easier for kids. But if you have a big mouth, big jaw, you may prefer the thick cuts. But whichever the case, you still want to loosen up those connective tissue between fat and muscle because when they heat up, they contract and make the pork very hard. So just poke those tissue with a knife. I also have a mixture of salt and pepper to rub onto pork, a starch instead of a wheat flour because we do gluten-free where possible, beaten eggs, mixed with a tablespoon of milk, and then gluten-free panko or breadcrumbs. So I see many on YouTube videos where people break eggs on edge of bowl, but it works better on a solid surface. And having said that, you have to use your common sense to apply right amount of force. You can't do it too softly, like knocking someone's door at midnight. So let's go about making a crunchy coating. First, apply katakuriko, which is a potato starch. I use a brush to spread out the powder evenly. Then I dip into beaten eggs and then take it out and cover with panko. After I finish, I put it in a tray. Now we are ready to shallow fry. Shall we? Now I'm going to heat up the chunk of lard to 170 to 180 C, which is about 340 to 350 F fish, and place the pork. And as I'm using minimum lard, It doesn't cover the pork completely, but it doesn't matter. You see, I'll put about 10 grams of butter, and as the hot bubbles are being formed, I'll scoop them with a big spoon and splash them on top of the pork. It's like a Milano style frying. Now turn over the pork and I'll repeat the same things. So you can see the stopwatch, that's how much I have used, and I think it's done. And I'll take it out of a tray, take it out in a tray with a rack, but I forgot to put it on a paper towel. It's better to put in a paper towel so it drains better. And then I'll wrap it in the aluminum foil. In this way it will cook naturally. So really, as you can see, the katsudon is an extension of tonkatsu with the sauce, which we are going to make it in a minute. Let's do that. So remember, we are using 2 portions, so I'll just scoop out roughly half of it for 1 person. Heat it up. Now I'm heating up this the egg kind of sauce, which primarily consists of onion and dashi and shoyu. I put the ingredients in the details below. So let's put that tonkatsu. I'm gonna lightly beat this egg, just break the yolk, just about that, and place it on top. And then scoop it out, the whole thing gently into a bowl. There it goes, yes. And for colors, put some green peas. So here's the gluten-free katsudon with shallow frying. So it's done. Let me taste it. Pork is tender. I think that tenderizer worked. Meat is soft. By the way, I said about katsudon, and katsu is the deep fried pork cutlet, and don is donburi. The katsu, the sound katsu has another meaning in Japanese. It means to win. So if there's something that you want to do, competition or something that you want to win, they eat katsudon and they feel like they can win it. So I hope you have a winning days ahead. And I'm June, and if June can cook, so can you.